Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is on moving forward from conflict, and this can be very difficult for a lot of us because when we get angry, when we get triggered, or when we get upset, we disconnect and we don't look for a way forward. Instead, we retract and we don't actually communicate and talk about what happened in the conflict. Remember, conflict can be quite productive and quite constructive, and it's a good way for us to learn to heal, to move on, move forward, and to learn about each other better. And when you are looking for a way to move on from conflict, communication is of utmost importance because there's no navigating through conflict without communication. You can't fix something that happened if you don't talk about it, if you don't talk about the feelings experienced, how you internalize the experience, how your thought processes cycled, how you thought during the fight or the argument or the conflict. Remember that your communication is what makes or breaks a relationship. Communication is what decides if you are going to get through conflict or if you are just going to disconnect further. Your communication is your way forward. Your communication is your key to resolving things and healing from things. Remember, conflict can be healthy. As I said, it can be very constructive and very helpful because we learn about the other person's triggers. We learn about what upsets the other person, what makes them angry, what their traumas were. When we have conflict and we resolve it, there's a reason why we feel closer to that person. Is because we have gotten now a better understanding of them, a better understanding of their situations. And if you handle conflict in the right way, if there's not a lot of erratic emotional dysregulation and a lot of reactions and a lot of blow-ups, then it can be healthy and very, very good for a relationship, depending on how you deal with it, depending on how you communicate afterwards, and depending on how you internalize and project the current arguments, fight, or conflict. Remember, we're all different. No one person is the same. We all will have conflict with each other at some point. You will have conflict with someone you love. And this is because we have our own unique map of the world. We have our own way of internalizing things. We have our own way of processing what happens to us throughout the day. And when we've had bad days, it can cause conflict because we don't always know how to communicate what we're feeling. So we project it instead. And that is usually received not very well, quite badly. So remember that conflict is perfectly normal, it's perfectly healthy. It just depends on how you deal with it. But understand that we are not perfect. We are all perfectly imperfect human beings. We have our own ways of internalizing things, processing things, and we have our own unique map of the world. So we cannot see eye to eye all the time, and we cannot agree all the time. It's about how we fight for our connections. It's about you two against the problem, not you two against each other. It's about fighting for the relationship, fighting for the bond, fighting for the connection. And it should never be a fight between you two against each other. It should be you two against the problem. Because when we love someone, we are willing to fight for that connection. And that's what is the most amazing thing about conflict. It makes you realize why you want that person in your life. Why are you fighting for them? And when you are in the middle of conflict and you're finding it very difficult to self-regulate and to self-manage, it's important that you express what you're feeling, you express what you're thinking, and you express how you're internalizing the situation right now and what's going on for you right now. But you do so respectfully, because if you are disrespectful during conflict, it's going to make it worse. Even if the other person is being disrespectful, it's important to maintain your self-respect, your dignity, and know that you can communicate and you can resolve it. If you are just more respectful towards one another, the conflict may not be as intense, may not be as emotional, and there may not be such long periods of silent treatment. Always allow for space and time to cool down. The more we envelop ourselves in the conflict, the less we are able to self-reflect. Once you remove yourself from the situation, you are able to sit one side away from the other person, and you are both able to just calm down and reflect, so that you can speak to each other calmly once you are both calmed down and thought about the situation and what needs to happen in order to move forward. So that space and that time to cool down doesn't necessarily mean that you want to leave each other, or you don't like each other anymore, you don't love each other. No, it's just, I need space to cool down, to calm down, and to reflect on what we had a fight about or what we had an argument about. And space and time allows for reflection, and reflection is what allows for accountability and the ability to say, okay, I was wrong here, but you were also wrong. And that's how we communicate respectfully. Express your emotions, but don't allow them to intensify the situation. If you are emotional, communicate that you are emotional, say that you are emotional, show that you are emotional, but don't let the intensity of your emotion make the conflict worse. Don't go from really upset to screaming and crying and freaking out and any blow up that you may have, because any strong emotional reaction you have will add fuel to the fire. And it's going to make it worse, because the other person is also very emotional at the moment, and they might not be able to deal with the intensity of your emotion at the present time. And then when you are having conflict and you are looking for a way forward, and you have allowed for time to calm down and cool down and reflect, be open and honest. Don't beat around the bush. Be honest about what upset you. Be honest about what hurt you, but also take accountability for it. Be honest in yourself for the way that you handled the situation, the way that you reacted or responded, and just be open, be honest, and be yourself when you are talking about how hurt you are, how upset you are. Be genuine in your communication. And after conflict, it's important that once you have cooled down, you have spoken about what's going on and what's bothering you and what the problem is, it's important that you can still express that you love each other in some form or another, because that just solidifies the bond, that just solidifies the relationship. And that is how we grow stronger from conflict, is by being able to go through conflict, to communicate and still express that you love one another. Remember, anger makes conflict worse. Conflict is worsened by extreme anger and intense reactions. As I said, you're adding fuel to the fire, and you're making the other person feel emotionally unsafe while you are becoming emotionally unsafe. And then it's very difficult to reconcile, to talk about things and move forward from that. Remember, when you have conflict, it can be healthy, and it's good for a relationship, because this is how we solidify our bonds, learn about each other, and are able to respect each other and each other's boundaries better. Focus on your communication, express yourself respectively, and understand that we all have our own map of the world and we can't agree all the time. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.